For today's cup of coffee.
Yes.
And it's like youngest kid has decided that again with the Zuzus and Wham Whams right as we're recording.
They're good. Okay.
So if he gets
tropical gummy mix. Listen, they're $1 a bag, they're cheap, and they're delicious. Okay? If I want to eat them on the podcast, I'm going to eat them on the podcast. And Son of a bitch.
We actually that was live as we're recording. That was a power blip.
I was like, damn, I really.
It's because that you have upset
The gummy gods?
Yes.
The gummy gods. Demi devil.
We actually have new candles.
Demigods and demi devils.
We have new candles. And that one actually, it has like a cologne type smell to it.
It smells like when you go into Bath and Body Works and they just now got the men's fragrances.
Yeah, it is a more masculine smell.
More woodsy.
But that's why I like the pine, what was
it's
it?
A good smell.
Fresh cut Fraser.
It's a good smell.
Yeah, it's not a bad smell.
Good
but I will tell you, if you go to Walmart,
you may not have them.
Make sure that they give you the discount.
They may not have them by now.
Well, they may not. But it was a matter of not getting my 75% off yesterday, and so I went to customer service and I got my 75% off.
I didn't either.
Well, you had already gone to the car, so I wasn't there to guide you.
Man, I wanted to go, so I was like, okay, we're going to go.
Let me tell you something.
How was
when
I
it's
supposed
those
to know?
bargains, oh yeah, I wasn't ugly. I wasn't going to make the cashier wait. I wasn't going to make the customers behind me wait. So I simply and nicely talked to one of the managers that I went to school with. I'm like, hey, what do I do? And she's like, just go over to customer service and tell them.
Okay.
So I wasn't throwing a fit or anything like that, because that would have been pointless.
Well, yeah. Who would throw a fit over that?
But I ended up with $29.21 back. So yeah, that was very much.
That's a good chunk of change.
Yeah, well, it is in our world, and it was a matter of going through, and then afterwards I went and bought me a Starbucks coffee.
Yes.
Hey, I had earned that money.
Yeah.
We have What the Fuck Files. And
a double feature.
Yeah, it is a double feature. And I like that much better than a twofer. I don't know, that's just a weird term, which I didn't like.
Double feature picture
Double feature.
Show.
Mm-hmm. It is. And these are odd. And I do warn people that some may find this gruesome. So, content warning, is that what I need to put on it?
Graphic content
warning.
Graphic subject matter.
And both of these are from Daily Mail. The first one is by Christian Oliver, January the 4th of 2023. A suspect has chewed off an elderly man's ear and some of his face in a horrific attack on a Portland train platform.
The fuck? Just decided to just nom on his face.
There's a
snack.
There's been a hell of a lot of shit going on these train platforms.
Oh yeah.
And it says,
have you seen them? They're spooky.
Authorities are also investigating as to whether drug use may have prompted the behavior.
No shit. I don't know what else, unless they were schizophrenic.
Right.
Or some other severe mental illness that put them into a psychosis.
Well, there was a lady the other day that was severely mentally ill, and she had pushed a 3-year-old off of the platform.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then just sat back down.
How high was the platform?
Well, it was one of these train platforms. I don't know how, what are they, like 3 or 4 foot. I don't know. I've never been to one.
My God.
Yeah.
So the baby's dead.
No, the baby ain't dead. People got down there and got the baby.
Oh, thank God.
So,
was it her baby or was it someone else's baby?
It was somebody else's baby. I don't know why somebody didn't have that child's hand. I mean, I wouldn't.
Would she think it was the devil?
I have no idea. No, that was other people that I have heard of lately. Anyhow, let's deal with this one. It says the attack occurred in the early hours on the morning on a MAX train platform, the Metropolitan Area Express service in Portland. Police said they responded to the vicious incident where witnesses had reported an attack with a significant amount of blood. Gresham police officers in the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office deputy responded thinking the attack had been a stabbing. When they arrived at the Cleveland Avenue MAX platform, the responding officers found the suspect still engaging in the attack and lying on top of the 78-year-old victim, police said.
The fuck?
Police then confirmed that the elderly man had not been stabbed, but that his ear and part of his face had been chewed off, exposing some of the 78-year-old's skull.
Oh. Damn.
Officers called for paramedics to provide...
Damn, you're talking over my damn.
Officers called for paramedics to provide the victim with emergency medical attention.
He got his face eaten.
Yeah. The police officers then took the suspect into custody, and police said that the suspect gave a fake name, identifying himself as L. Baker.
What the fuck, L. Baker?
Jail staff.
Was he's Baker? He the baked goods, baked goods.
Jail staff.
Or he's always baked.
That could be. It could be that he's very baked.
Loser Baker.
Jail staff took his fingerprints and correctly identified the man to be Corin Kramer. The 25-year-old had recently moved to Portland, Oregon from Georgia, and the unidentified victim is in a stable condition and should make a full recovery. Now, that's physically. That man will never, ever get over that emotionally.
No. He ain't going to recover from it physically.
Well, I mean,
had his face eaten off.
Well, it didn't. It said it was chewed off. It didn't say that it was consumed.
There is a difference. It was eaten.
It didn't say that he was consuming the thing. I mean, you got that whole Evander Holyfield thing back in the day as far as the ear, but
a light snack.
I mean, the ear was chewed off. Now he's going to have quite a bit of cosmetic surgery there. But Kid and I were talking about different street drugs.
Have a prosthetic.
Yeah. One of those that got prosthetic the little magnets that he can just snap his ear on.
And change it whenever.
Yeah.
Halloween costume.
He could have an elf ear.
False faces.
You could have fun with the false ear thing. You really could. But at 78, how creative are you going to be with that?
You have one that's like a knife handle sticking through the ear.
I'd say that he would opt out of that one. But we were talking about what kind of street drugs could cause this kind of behavior. Because this is not the first time this shit has happened.
He could get a piece that's like someone biting his face.
I know. I don't think what are they going to invite him to Halloween parties for the rest of his life?
Yeah.
They're in Florida, and it's been quite a few years back. Somebody had attacked a homeless man that was living under a bridge, and they had chewed his face off. This has happened, like I said, quite a few times. Now, back in the 80s, that was when angel dust was supposedly around and that people were doing horrible things to themselves, usually. Since then, I have heard people say that was not accurate. So, sometimes even when you're trying to research these things, you don't know what is true and what is false. But now, as far as recently, bath salts. Now, that is a street drug that people have had some very aggressive behaviors. And
did you see that one dude?
Which one?
The video of that one dude that was on bath salts?
I counseled some people that had been on bath salts. So what did the one dude do?
He ate somebody's face off.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the one lady that her family I worked with, she had developed brain aneurysms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was remarkably sad because she was such a sweet person.
Don't do those drugs.
Of course, I was dealing with her while she was sober.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it was the man that she was married to that had, got her into doing that. Mm-hmm. She was doing
someone to get her out of there.
Mm-hmm. She was doing really well until he got released from jail. And then it just went downhill from there. But that happens a lot. There's another one that has been hitting the streets. It's called Flocka. And this is a stimulant that they said is similar to ecstasy. But apparently it does not have the side effects that ecstasy does. It says that can become violent, self-harm, and bizarre behavior. I'm reading this off of Sprout Health Group. It's random website.
Fuck?
Just look at, just type in Flocka, Flakka. And it says that this one guy had supposedly impaled himself on a fence, and another ran through the streets naked, claiming that someone had stolen his clothes.
Oh my God.
And it says that there are parallels that can be drawn to Flocka with, it says its chemical cousin, bath salts.
That does not surprise me. That's just...
Why the hell would anybody put something like that in their body?
I don't know.
Honest to God.
I don't know. Like, the natural shit, yeah, I can understand that. Why would you take something that you would be like, okay, I've heard bad shit about this. I've heard horror stories about this. Let me take it. It won't happen to me.
All this synthetic shit. And that's part of the problem. And that was as far as the fentanyl and stuff like that.
Yeah, within the marijuana.
What? Well, yeah, fentanyl. But that it is synthetic. There was opium addiction has been going on for hundreds of years. And so they don't have to protect the poppy fields anymore. I'm trying not to get political. I'm really not. But it was a matter of...
that you kind of have to get political on.
Well, that was one of the things as far as we have found out that our country has done some absolutely heinous things. Not only to its own people, but to other people's people. And you got to realize, those of us that live here, that does not represent us. And a lot of it, we have been deceived, just like a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
But some
of us here, we can see it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we can do everything we legally can do.
Right.
And...
yeah, prior.
Because we don't agree with it either.
Right. And
we're fighting against it.
Well, we're fighting for ourselves also. But that's like with this fentanyl, which is a synthetic opioid. Mm-hmm. And is killing people lots.
Yeah.
So, as far as make sure that, at least in some states now, it is legal if you're going to use marijuana. Mm-hmm. That you can grow a certain amount for yourself for personal use. But it's a plant, but they're saying they are warning people that you better make sure even where you're getting your marijuana from.
Yeah. Because
it could be laced with fentanyl.
Yeah. And you don't want that shit.
No, because it can kill you flat out.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation. And then we've got meth in this area. But that's when I was asking Kid, I said, have you ever heard anybody on meth hurting somebody? And I really haven't. Now they will break in and steal shit. But as far as truly getting aggressive, well, now he said that he had heard of that. I have really not.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on the individual that's hooked on this shit.
Exactly. It just depends on the person. Most of the time, they're not. They're
just sitting there tweaking. They twitching in the corner.
They fight you if you try to restrain them, but
Well, what is it? Take away their twitching time? It's a restrained twitching instead of the other. Oh, God. I mean, it's one of those things that officers, and that was what, even as far as the fentanyl, there was an officer that had made an arrest about a month or so ago, and I don't know if she had touched their clothes or whatever it was, but she had just that brief contact. No, she didn't die, but it was a matter that it caused her to have an overdose reaction.
From just touching the person.
Yeah. Well, that's just like they wouldn't, as far as somebody having, if they were, had a meth lab or something like that, that we had to be sure to wear gloves and everything. Yeah, I was getting ready to put somebody's property in a bag, and they're like, nope, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Well,
Put your gloves
you just
on.
didn't think about it. It's like, hey, it's got him, meth lab.
I mean, that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah. So, don't do drugs, kids. That's stupid shit. Don't chew people's faces off.
My God. Just don't do drugs.
If you're on some of these train platforms, my God, keep your head on a swivel. Never assume. Always keep people out of your personal space. Make sure you know who is around you. Make sure that somebody does not look like they're going to take some kind of run and go at you. I mean, y'all who live in urban areas, just massively be aware.
Oh, yeah.
The second one that we have, as I shuffle my papers, this is from Meike Leonard, January the 4th, also from Daily Mail. A missing man whose foot was discovered floating in a Yellowstone hot spring did not leave a suicide note in his car, National Park Service documents revealed.
Disembodied foot or lucky foot?
Authorities recovered a laptop computer, photo album, notebook, and a collection of annotated poems from the car of Los Angeles man, and I think I'm pronouncing this, I think it was Il Hunro, Hunro. After it was left abandoned in the visitor car park last summer. The black shoe of the missing 70-year-old was first sighted by a visitor to the park on August the 16th, floating on the surface of the Abyss pool.
And so it was a sewer slide? Or was it a murder?
The ranger sent to the scene was shocked to discover a bone protruding from the rescued footwear and immediately cordoned off the area. So it was the shoe with the surprise.
Bone sticking out.
The foot was identified as Rose through DNA match to a relative, but no other remains have been found in the West Thumb Geyser Basin area. Certain fatty tissues noted floating on the pool surface were also tested by investigators, but it is unclear if those were from the missing man's body. It says the new documents did not reveal any further solid evidence as to the nature of the missing man's presumed death. Well, now, if it's presumed and the man is missing a foot...
Wouldn't you think he's dead? Why is it presumed? Confirmed dead.
I don't know. It's just how it says.
Dead man.
Park officials have previously clarified that they do not suspect foul play.
Our police are just dumb, aren't they?
Yellowstone National Park's hot springs, which reach temperatures of over 140 degrees Fahrenheit, are well protected by boardwalks and barriers. Abyss Pool, one of the park's deepest, is similarly cordoned off to prevent eager tourists from getting too close because stupid people exist. Visitors are warned that stepping off designated pathways can be incredibly dangerous, and the park's geothermal pools, geysers, and mud pots have previously caused 20 deaths.
And do something about that.
No.
Block that area off.
They have. This is natural selection. If people go around the barriers and the fences and stuff like that.
In that case, yeah, let them go.
And it says,
let them just do their thing and let nature take them.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is known as to how Rose's foot ended up in the pool, nor how it was separated from the rest of his body.
He got blasted, and then something chewed off.
Well, you gotta think. you got to
snapped
think.
off if he hit the ground. He got hit by a geyser.
If he had fallen into this pool, then more than just the foot would have floated up. If a animal had the foot, it's doubtful that it would have been that near the geyser and would have dropped it.
Oh, I think... Have you seen a human bounce? I haven't either, but... you know...
And that he's presumed dead.
Yeah.
Found his foot, and he's presumed dead. And that they don't suspect any kind of foul play, but there was nothing as far as that would indicate any kind of suicide note or whatever. Is it just me? That this?
If you're asking
just
that, then it's not you. It's not just you. If you are asking that.
Where was it recently that we had seen where cops had done something? We had watched a show about as far as detectives.
Cop car flipped over.
Doing
right?
well, that was just local, so that's expected.
Well,
But-
that's what we need to talk about. That's what you need to talk about.
God, no.
Right there.
Anyhow, but that these supposed people, they didn't even investigate what it was.
No.
And that somebody
Most of the time they
had
just blow it off, and they're like, I don't want to mess with it.
right, and that they had brought in a private investigator or whatever, and that they automatically, it's like, no, none of this is how, it may have been one of the stories we read recently about where the coroner and stuff like that, and they were just writing whatever it was off, and it was a homicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you ever have
Because they don't
family
want to do their
member,
job.
I mean, God forbid that anybody out there have a family member that something horrible happens to them. But if it does, it would be best to hire a private investigator to make sure, what has happened if it were foul play or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oof.
it's just, we knew it was going to get crazier and crazier. We really did. And day by day, it's,
That's why I'm just sitting back.
Yeah, you're just trying to vibe and stay in the house and vibe.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty much. No, my gummy. Man down.
Throw that
and
away.
it's still good.
You have no.
It's still good.
Oh my God, no! Don't do that. We have cats. Don't eat that.
Still good.
Oh, anyhow, I was going to ask you for final thoughts before you get a little bit of botulism or some over there. Strep throat. That's all you need. No final thoughts.
I didn't eat it.
Oh yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Squidward bite, maybe, but
Final thoughts.
Cops are stupid.
Not all of
They're
them.
just
there
waiting.
are some
No,
good
I'm not
ones
saying
out
all of
there.
them. I'm not saying all of them. That just makes
A lot of the ones I worked with and around.
A lot of them are just assholes too.
Yeah, they really are. God is a bullet. If you ever Concrete Blonde, y'all go look up the lyrics of God is a bullet. So, anyhow, if you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, things that would qualify as a what the fuck file, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Stories. We need stories.
Yeah, anytime. If you got a lead on the story,
The
send
river
us
has
that
run
also.
dry.
Well, no, we're doing better now. We're doing better now. I've got several. I've got leads on several of them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, cupofcoffeewithscream, gmail.com. That will be in the description box, as will the links to the articles.
Yes. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Yeah, know that you're loved.
Yes.
And if you do have a loved one that does have a substance abuse problem, honest to God, and
Get them help.
Yeah. And we actually, in our description box, we've got quite a bit of information in there, and that does include a national helpline for people who have addiction. And that's for those of us that's here in America. I'm sure that those of y'all who may be in different countries, that there's some place and somebody that you can reach out to.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and we will see you on the next cut.
Yeah.
Bye.